welcome back to the We Don't Wanna podcast. This is a show where two certified dipshits make uncertified takes about your favorite series. We're your hosts. I am Zach, and joining me as always, he's half an inch shy of an inch. It is Scotty Westside, the legend.
I should have known that your intro would be from that scene, because it must be your favorite scene from this episode, because I feel like that guy is just you.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh yeah.
guy is just 100% you, and that kills me.
Would I lie about?
Yeah, well, you don't know me. I wouldn't lie about this. Fucking old drunk ass over here,
dude. Hey, speaking of that, raise a toast, to my guy.
baby. Hell yeah.
Actually, I'm drinking a new whiskey tonight. It's called High West.
Is this one of the ones that old Jebby boy recommended to you?
He didn't. So funny that you say that. He didn't recommend this to me, but he has had it before and he likes it.
I was gonna say he unrecommended it to you, but you got it anyway because you were like, "Fuck you, Jeb. You don't make
Jeff
decisions for the podcast." Exactly. Reverse shout out to Jeb, because he's never gonna listen to this. We were just giving him shit the other night for being a bad friend, so I want to not give Jeb a shout out. I want to ungive him a shout out. Is that a thing you can do? Because I'm doing
sure. We're doing it.
Yeah. So,
well, okay. I don't understand. Was there more to this?
No.
Or are you going to?
It's
okay.
just an
all right. Unshout out Jeff.
Yeah, unshout out Jeff. Exactly. That's all I want to say.
What about Jeb?
Jeb is worse.
True. That's
true.
Jeb does not know how to lifeline res in Apex Legends.
Jeb doesn't know how to do much. Let's be honest. Hopefully, he knows how to be a dad.
Jeb updates his Xbox for a week and a half to get ready to play Apex.
Yeah. True.
How you doing this week, man? I feel like we haven't really talked much this week.
Have we not? I don't know. Yeah, I'm good. I just been chilling. The weather's been warming up, getting pretty nice. It feels like spring out there,
right?
Yeah, it's we had a very weird spring thunderstorm that lasted like an hour. That was kind of crazy the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna continue to talk about the weather, because that's fucking riveting.
Yeah, people are so into
there.
that.
They love it so much. That's about it. Yeah, that's all I got going on.
Wow, uneventful. Huh?
I finished on my rewatch of Gundam Wing.
Oh,
which
I have never seen.
Which you've never seen, and I know I pitched the idea. I almost wanted that to be like your continued thing after we finished One Piece for you, or at least doing for the show.
Sure.
Unhappy to report that I have not seen that show in years and years and years and years. Probably since I was like a teenager.
Hold up as good.
Does not fully hold up. Which is a little disappointing. Not to say
time, age, and wrinkles will do that to you, man.
Listen, not to say it's bad. It's not bad, but it is not the bastion of incredible programming I once thought it was. Does not hold up, like, say, to the standard of Yu Yu Hakusho, which is one from the same era that totally holds up today.
Totally holds up.
So,
yes.
A little disappointed in that, but, other than that, what are you gonna do?
I don't know that I've ever asked you this. Were you ever into Inuyasha?
I have seen some of it, not all of it. Wasn't, like, super into it.
Gotcha. Okay. I kind of also was in the same, like, boat. Like, growing up, I wasn't, like, super into it, but, like, I'd catch it every now and then when it was on late, because it was always on very late.
Yeah.
And I feel like that one might be one that, if I went back, I may like it more as an adult.
Interesting.
I always felt like it was a little more mature.
Sure.
And dark than, like what I was watching as a kid.
I am excited. I don't know if we've talked about this, but did you know they're remaking Rurouni Kenshin?
I did know this, actually.
I'm excited for that.
Have we not talked about this?
I don't think that we have.
I am not excited about it.
No?
Did I tell you? I feel like I did. I feel like we must. I would have brought this up at the time. It was sometime in the last year. Maybe it's been a little longer than that, but sometime in the last like year and a half, I went back and tried to rewatch Rurouni Kenshin.
And it didn't hold up?
It's fucking awful, dude.
It's you know what? Bad. Now that you say that, I think we have talked about this. Probably on the podcast, and time is a flat circle, and we will do this till the end of time.
Dude, we just live here, dude. I don't know.
We just fucking live here. That is disappointing to hear. Maybe they'll
fucking bad, dude.
fix it.
No, sure, maybe. It's just...
They usually make things worse. Is what they usually
I don't know. Maybe you'd feel differently. I would be curious to know what you thought.
Interesting. How has your week been, pal?
Dude, my week has been eventful and good, actually.
Excellent.
Yeah. So a couple life updates. I know that our listeners just love this stuff.
Yeah.
You guys are not here to listen to us talk about Game of Thrones.
We do that?
Yeah, apparently. I have been working towards a move and role with the company I work for. That's gone through, and I am officially starting training for that role tomorrow, which is great. I'm very excited for that.
Hell yeah. 3 cheers for Zachy boy.
Yeah, that's going to be a really nice, very welcome life change for Amanda and I. Financially is going to be great, but which is always good, but also just a more flexible schedule, and I am so fucking pumped for that.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's like my schedule and my job is essentially going to be production based. So it's not really like set hours. It's just like get your job done and then you're done.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Also, I helped my brother-in-law and his family move into a new place this weekend. So your boy is feeling sore.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I am feeling 30.
Dude.
Let me tell you that, dude.
Old ass over here.
Yeah,
dude, as someone who has moved way too many times in his life, moving fucking sucks. It is maybe one of the worst things that you can do in life.
Yeah.
And I have somehow done it like a dozen times in like the past 10 years. Not that many.
Yeah, man.
It's close to that.
So, well, I mean, you know this, and we occasionally talk about like how you and I used to work together, but the company that Scott and I used to work together, when you would move up in that company, you were essentially required to move. And we're not talking like moving across town, like it's like full ass, like
cross country.
Yeah. We were a nationwide company, and they would want you in a different market. It was something else. It was fucking ridiculous, is what it was.
We don't talk about the dark days,
dude. I know.
Although actually, that's kind of all we talk about, because we had good times
when you and I worked together, man. That was some good times,
despite the company having a lot of issues.
Sure,
it's how we met. And we had many Chaz as well, of course. It's how we met our buddy Chaz.
And for the job we had to do, it was pretty decent money.
Well, some of us
maybe not comparatively to now, but like.
Well, some of us worked harder than others, is what I'm just gonna say. No shade here, but some of us may have put in a little more effort than others. You know, that neither here nor there. But it brought us together for this lovely friendship, and we did have some good times. We had a lot of good times.
Oh yeah, dude.
So
so anyway, yes. So Amanda and I essentially moved, whether it was because of a promotion or lateral move with the company, or because it was one of the very few times that we actually stayed in a market more than a year.
Right.
It was moving from like one apartment to another.
Sure.
Right, like lease being over or something like that.
Yeah, your ass moved a lot as well.
Amanda and I moved, I think, every year for at least like 9 or 10 years. Yeah, it's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, why did we do that? Like, I did the same, and it's just the worst.
Dude, it's because that company, name will not be said, gets people when they're young, and they're like, this is the best it'll ever be.
Well, I did it even before I joined that company, and then I did it for a while after too. So I can't fully blame it on them. I just
that's how I was, because in my head I was like, this is the best thing that exists, and like if I leave this company, I'm fucked.
There's nothing better out there.
Yeah, dude.
Spoiler alert, most of it was better out there.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Anyway, you know, I'm glad you got your cousin moved. Moving sucks, but hopefully you're not sore for too long.
Yeah. Only other thing I will say.
Yeah.
Before we jump into this, unless you have anything, I have been rewatching the Lord of the Rings movies and
really?
the Hobbit movies. Yikes.
I know why. Yeah.
And I'm gonna self plug here. Forgive me.
Shocking. You never do
yeah,
that.
Right. But the second podcast for all you listeners and watchers out there who are not aware of this, second podcast that I am co-hosting with our good friend Sam from Harry Potter and the Half Drunk podcast, are one of the episodes that we're doing some research for is a Lord of the Rings episode, or Tolkien episode. I guess it wouldn't be just be Lord of the Rings, and it's been fun going through those movies again, but also, boy, I don't love the Hobbit movies, like even a little. So that's gonna be real fun. If you guys are not following the Instagram, because this show has not launched at the time of you guys listening to this episode. Hey, this is Zach from the future, and yes, it has. Go hit us up at DeathWishPod on Instagram.
You think and hope. Your timing on those are all.
No. We have the date set. We've got it uploaded. Yeah, it's.
But do you know what date this is going up?
This is going up. No, I don't. Don't pretend like you do. Actually, let's see.
Yes, I already fucking knew it.
No.
While you're checking on that, I do have something actually, Zachy, we need to talk about before we fully dive in here.
Actually, yeah. So, this is perfect. This is incredible timing. No, it isn't. At the time you guys are hearing this, it is likely. No, it isn't. St. Patrick's Day. Nope, that was last week. Friday the 17th. Which our Death Wish podcast drops on Wednesday the 22nd. So the very next week. Nope. Yep. So that next was this week on Wednesday, be on the lookout for episode this week. Actually, we're gonna drop a few episodes on the first day.
You better hope and pray this shit don't change.
Oh, dude, it's not changing, man. It's not changing.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, do that. We would love you and appreciate you. And if you guys are longtime listeners, it's just another thing for you guys to consume that we're splurting out, you know?
Please don't ever phrase it like that again. That
all right, what are you gonna talk about?
Made me so uncomfortable. Hey, I got them there thrown in stats.
You got the stats?
I got the stats. I was supposed to bring them last week, but I forgot. The whole plan was to
some
do
of
it.
us work harder than others.
Yes, some of us. Oh boy. Fuck off. That's a good callback though. I like that. So this was where we were last time. This is not the updated stats, and I left this up.
I can't see it.
Well, I know, but that's fine. I left this up for one very big reason, because I will call out. Take a look at number 11 here. Our favorite little guy, Jon Snow, is at number 11 as of the end of season 4. He's got 24 total points. He's been on the list 11 times. He's in 11th place behind Jaime, Littlefinger, the Hound, Robb, Cersei, Bobby B, Arya, Daenerys, Tyrion, Tywin, right? So fast forward 10 episodes, one season, season 5. And lo and behold, where does little Lord Commander Jon Snow find himself? In 3rd fucking place.
Holy shit.
My man's jumped 8 spots. Season 5 was not great to any of us except John, apparently.
Yeah.
Which is ironic considering the way that season ended for him. But he was on 6 times out of the 10 episodes. And now has 50 points and is trailing only the superpower Lannisters of Tywin and Tyrion.
That is absurd.
He has passed Daenerys. He has passed everyone in his wake. Arya plummeted a couple spots. She did not have a great season. Daenerys went up 1 spot, I think. But yeah, just a little interesting stuff. Top 15 again here. Nothing crazy. I think I said I would put the full list up on the social last time. I don't think that happened, but maybe I'll remember this time.
Yeah, just send it to me. Just actually put me in the document.
That seems like so much. That seems like so much effort. What I am curious about, because I think this is gonna come. This is gonna come down to the wire. Will Tyrion pass Tywin? He is 9 points.
What is the point? Okay.
He is 9 points back. So that is 2 first places, and he would pass Tywin.
No, he won't.
Seems easy, right? No. But then you think about it, and Tyrion.
I
at this
apologize
point,
about showing my
right.
hand a little for those of you who are watching Game of Thrones for the first time, but I am gonna say this, and I don't want this to curb your thought process of what you think about Tyrion, but season 6, 7, and 8 Tyrion is not the best Tyrion.
Agreed.
I don't know that we're going to see him on the list as often. A 9-point difference, man.
So here's another question. Of all the people who could potentially dethrone Tywin at number 1, I think Jon is probably the only one who's got a shot, but he's 30 points back. That's going to be tough.
Jon is about to have an unbelievable
season. I mean, he
though.
Literally just had an unbelievable season also, though. He jumped 8 spots. But also, yes. Come on. Yeah, that's. I think Jon and Daenerys.
I think you're right. Jon and Dany are the two most likely to.
Yes.
To unseat.
It's gonna be interesting.
Tywin.
It's gonna be interesting. But I thought that was kind of fun. We knew Jon was having an unbelievable season.
Will you do me an actual favor?
Maybe.
Can you do this live?
Yeah.
If you have that document saved, can you I've told you your feed to me back is super whitewashed, and I literally can't read anything. Can you email me this
right now?
Right now, no. I want to see it.
All right, fine.
And I can cut this if you need me to.
Yeah, whatever. Reply.
This is a great opportunity to tell you guys to go hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at We Don't Wanna Pod. You know, where we sometimes post and sometimes don't. So go hang out with us.
It's sent. I sent you the full list.
Sick. Okay, I appreciate that.
You should have told me to do this before.
I didn't realize you were coming with this.
Yes, you did. We talked about it before we started.
No, man.
We literally talked about it.
Lies and fallacies, dude.
We literally talked about it.
Here we are. Oh my fucking Lord. Here we go.
Jon's average is still not incredible. It's not terrible either.
Oh man. Wait, he's 30 points back and he's in 3rd place.
Yeah. Isn't that wild? Tywin was wild. A fucking juggernaut, dude. Tywin averaged 3.81 points per appearance. That means he basically nearly 2nd or higher almost every time he was on the list.
Ooh, hey, I may have a sleeper pick here.
Okay. No shot. There's no one else.
Well, you're probably right. Okay, hold on. Let's take a jab at this. Who do we think is going to be the most improved over season 6?
Over? You mean in season 6?
Yeah, at the end of season 6, who's going to move up the highest?
I think Davos will make a substantial jump this season, as the resident super Davos fan.
You may be right. I mean, that's not a bad pick.
I think Davos will jump several spots this season. What just happened to you? Did you lose power?
Oh no, I didn't.
Did you kick the plug?
No, God damn it, I'm an idiot. The PC that I use. So this is okay. You guys want to peek behind the curtain?
Sure, why not? What are we doing here?
So I have a ring light. That's what's lighting my face here, and I have to plug it into a PC in order for it's a USB.
Sure.
I don't have an extra USB port on my laptop. They're all being used by my camera and mic and all that shit, right? So I have to plug it into my work PC.
You could get a USB hub, but sure.
I could get a USB hub, but that makes way too much sense, and we all know that I don't fucking think rationally here.
Fair enough.
And I recently got annoyed with how long my work PC would stay on, So I put it on sleep mode. Hey, if it's not being used for so long, then fucking turn off. Yeah, well, that's what just happened. I suck. That's what happened.
You are such a tool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was?
Right.
I want to hear. And again, we're kind of tipping our hand for what's coming ahead. But who's your sleeper pick?
In season 6, I don't know that this is the answer, but I think Arya's gonna move up a lot.
I mean, she's already kind of right there. Like,
she is pretty high, but
she's only 4 points behind Daenerys for spot 4. So that's like nothing.
Yeah, well, we all know that we have some biases when it comes to Daenerys, so.
I mean, listen, Daenerys is in 4th place. What do you want from us?
Yeah, that is the truth.
Look at Bobby B holding strong at 8th with his 5.0 points per appearance. It's beautiful, a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
holy shit. Rob also 4.5 points per appearance is
dude. It is
crazy.
Absurd that Yoren is still on this list.
Wait, shut up. Wait, no,
22.
Where? Oh, well, yeah, everyone's on the list. Zach has the full one.
Gotcha,
I only have the top 15 up right now.
Ooh, man. Do we? Well, no, there's one that we can't really say.
Yeah, I think I know the one you mean. Yeah, we shouldn't say that one.
You know, I think I may agree with you, dude. I think Davos may have the largest jump.
Because, like, he could move up, like, he could, like, Jamie and Bobby B at 30 points, 10 points ahead of him. I feel like he could move up easily into the top 10 this season. But I digress. That is the stats. That is what I brought for the day. Just a little fun thing we like to do for the very first episode of the season. I never forget, always bringing it hot and ready. This is season 6 episode 2. That can't be right. Zach, you fucked up the title, buddy. You need to fix that. This is season 6 episode 2, Home. I'm ready to kick us off with this recap. Are you ready, bud?
Yes. I'm going to have to remember when I'm supposed to start reading, but sure.
It's about Bravos.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I think I have it.
Spoilers, we're going to talk about Bravos. But we begin with someone we have not seen in a hot damn minute. It's Cracklin' O'Bran. He's still in the Weirwood Cave doing vision training with the Three-Eyed Raven. He sees Winterfell in the past with young Ned, Benjen, Lyanna, and Hodor. Bran is mad that the Three-Eyed Raven pulled him out of the vision so soon. Hodor takes Bran to see Mira, who's still moping over her dead brother. At the wall, Sir Davos and the Jon Loyalists prepare to fight as Sir Alliser has the door knocked down. Suddenly, the Castle Black Gate is knocked down by 1-1, and Ed storms in with the wildlings. Sir Alliser wants his men to fight, but after 1-1 shows what he can do, they surrender real quick.
After 1-1 shows his old 1-2.
I hate you. Ed has Sir Alliser and the others that stabbed Jon locked in the cells. In King's Landing, Cersei wants to go to Myrcella's funeral, but Tommy Boy has ordered that she remain in the Red Keep for her protection. Jaime asks Tommen why he hasn't gone to see her, and he admits that he's ashamed of being unable to protect her. The High Sparrow comes in and tells Tommen he can't see Marjorie, so Jaime tells him to go see his mother. Jaime threatens to kill the High Sparrow for what he did to Cersei, but a bunch of the followers, the Sparrows, come in, and Jaime knows he would die as well. Tommy goes and apologizes to Cersei, telling her that he should have killed all the Sparrows before he let that happen to her, and asks for her help in being strong. In Meereen, shit is real bad. The fleet has been burned. Astapor and Yunkai are back in control of the Masters. The dragons in the catacombs aren't eating, and Tyrion is making terrible jokes. Tyrion says the dragons being chained up in the pit is very bad for them, and goes down to feed them. They almost roast his ass, but he successfully unchains them, which isn't really feeding them, which is what I realized he said he was going to do, but then he didn't actually do.
In Bravos, the waif is bullying a blinded Arya again when Jaqen, a.k.a. the actual devil, comes to tempt her. He offers her food and shelter and her eyes back if she will only say her name. but Arya refuses and says that she is no one. Jaqen approves and tells her to come and that she is not a beggar anymore. At Winterfell, Roose is giving Ramsay shit for his hunters failing and losing Sansa. Ramsay suggests that they'll be headed to Castle Black and that they should go kill Jon Snow anyway. Roose says that he's an idiot because killing the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch would definitely unite the entire North against them. And young Lord Karstark is like, yo, my guy, I fucking got you, bud. Fuck the Starks. All my homies hate the Starks. We good. Roose is telling Ramsay what a madman he is when the Maester comes in and tells them that Lady Walda had a baby boy. Ramsay does not take this news well, and he kills Roose, Lady Walda, and the baby. Very gruesomely, I may add. Sansa, Brienne, Theon, and Pod are camping out, and Brienne tells Sansa that, she tells Sansa about how she saw Arya, and Arya got away. Theon is certain that Jon will kill him the moment that they get to Castle Black, but Sansa says she won't let anything happen to him. Even still, Theon decides to leave them and head for the Iron Islands. Hey, speaking of those old Iron Islands, apparently Balon is still salty because his rebellion is failing. Did you guys know that he was still having a rebellion? We didn't, because
we haven't seen this dude in a hot minute.
Yara tries to call him on all of his bullshit, but he's not having it. As Balon's leaving, he runs into his brother Euron, aka Bam Margera, who kills him by throwing him off a rope bridge.
Who keeps killing him.
Does it over and over. There was like a loop, there was a glitch in the DVD.
Yeah. It's
in
like
the VHS. In the VHS. There will now be a King's Moot, which is substantially less cool than an Entmoot. Dude,
True.
I love you and hate you.
Did you have this joke?
Yes, I had this joke.
Fuck yeah, Entmoot. All my homies love Treebeard.
Dude. That's so funny.
Treebeard absolutely fucks. Go listen to our Lord of the Rings podcast to hear us rant about how great Treebeard is.
Oh, man. Okay. There will now be a King's Moot to decide who will rule the Iron Islands. At Castle Black, Davos goes to Melisandre and asks her if there's any way that she can bring Jon back. Mel is against this idea because she has lost her faith, but Davos gives a great goddamn speech and gets her to at least give it a try. Just to see what it tastes like. She does her little ritual thing, which is basically just to cut and shampoo at the beauty salon with Valyrian chanting, but it appears to have failed. They all leave the room. After a moment, Ghost stirs, and Jon wakes up.
Bam!
Bam!
Guess who's back? Bang,
Back.
Jon
Back
is back.
again.
Back again. Yeah. That was the worst. Anyway,
I was just going.
Believe me, I noticed. That was season 6, episode 2, Home.
I have a lot of mixed feelings about this episode.
Really? Okay, interesting. Well, why don't we get into it and discuss that? Because I guess I'm not sure where I land on this episode. I think the ending is great.
And there are things about it that are good.
Well, let's start with something I know you'll love and that are good. It's your favorite character, Cracklin' Oatbran.
Yikes.
He's back.
So this is the first time we've seen him in a season and an episode.
Yes, correct.
He went through a growth spurt.
Yes, he did. He looks like
a weirdo.
He got a haircut because last time we saw him, he was in his like Beatles haircut phase.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of young British actors like go through that.
They just all look like the Beatles at some point.
Do you remember the 4th movie of Harry Potter?
Yes.
The Goblet of Fire?
Oh, how could I forget? How could I ever forget them in all with their long ass hair?
Dude, hold on. Actually, speaking of Harry Potter,
Jesus, of course, Amanda, it all has to come back to fucking.
It all has to come back to this. Yes. So Amanda's playing Harry Potter behind, like she just started.
I believe it's called Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes, Hogwarts Legacy. Yes. The old game Harry Potter.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for PS2.
Harry Potter and the Hogwarts of Legacy. Yes. So she, I was watching her play when she was like creating her profile and building her character and everything. And it got to the point where you have to name your character. And like, I know that for people like you who use the same name, Jimmy Legs, with every character that you make. I don't.
That's just for the ones that not for everything. Just shit I don't care about.
Yeah, Jimmy Legs. Wait, didn't you name your Link Jimmy Legs? Oh no, you named your horse Jimmy Legs.
Yeah, I named my horse in Breath of the Wild Jimmy Legs.
Jimmy
Absolutely.
Legs. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah. It's appropriate for a horse.
It is. Jimmy Legs. Anyway, Amanda like paused and she was like going through a fucking battle.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Like, what do I name my character? Like, is it supposed to be cool or is it supposed to, like she was.
Surely there are like Harry Potter name generators out there like there are for Star Wars and shit, right?
I mean, I'm sure, yes, but she was definitely struggling until she finally I was like, dude, just play the game. Like, literally nobody's gonna see
this is important. I'm with Amanda on this one.
I was
if
like,
you're not going to go Jimmy Legs,
this,
it's very important.
Except for everybody I tell, which is now the entire internet.
Yeah.
So her name that she decided on was Salamander Jones.
That fucking rules. that fucks so hard. Salamander Jones.
Dude,
okay. I'm glad you brought this back to Harry Potter just to hear. Why didn't you bring that up at the beginning? That's far and away the best thing that's happened to you in like a year.
Yeah, okay, that's
is
fair.
Salamander Jones. That's amazing.
I forgot to mention it.
Is she playing as a girl or a boy?
She's playing as a girl.
Okay. That name goes so hard.
Salamander Jones, dude.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Cracklin' Oat Bran.
Okay, Bran.
Yeah. He's I really like seeing old Winterfell and these young characters. Like, that's cool and fun.
Yeah, definitely. Lyanna seems cool as fuck.
Yeah. She's a little bit of a show off, a little bit of hot dog, but
she kind of reminds me of like what Arya might be like when she's a little like the perfect blend between an Arya and Sansa. Kind of a badass, but
she
still
seems
a lady.
A little more arrogant than Arya, but I don't know. Listen, I'm nitpicking here. Poor what is it? Ned using Jon's line about ringing his head like a bell.
Yeah.
To poor little Benjen, and I'm like, that's the line you're gonna pass on. It's not even that great of a line. Like, what?
Yeah.
Is that the way? Is that really what we're going to here?
Yeah, there's a lot of bad lines in this episode. Let me
I don't think I noticed. There's a couple good ones. I do have a couple good ones. But yeah, Bran is back. I don't. This whole scene with like Mira pouting and like the child. Is there an easy way to say? Is it just a child of the forest or one of the children of the forest? They have such.
Just call him a cough. COF. Child of forest.
Okay, fine. That sounds weird. I'm not going to use cough. I hate their redesign, by the way. It freaks me out. I can't stand it.
I like the old ones.
I liked the old ones a lot better. I think from season 4, the finale, the quick look we got at the cough.
The chair drain.
I liked way more. I hate this. It freaks me out. Do not like.
Sure. Okay.
Was definitely wanted to mention that. But yeah, I don't know that scene. I just whatever.
So, okay, can I ask you, because I may not, again, I know I've said several times, but I've only read the first 3 books.
Right.
And I know that although the 5th book, which is all that's published currently, ends with Jon dying, but there are parts of it that are still later in the show that have been written and vice versa, right?
Yes.
Do we know that Bran is a green seer?
Oh, yeah. Bran is, as of the end of the books, to my knowledge, from what I recall, Bran is currently in vision training mode.
Okay, so he doesn't take a book off. like a season off the way that he does.
Well, yeah, I think he does because book 4 and book 5 are weird because they're split. Like they're happening at the same time, but they're split like geographically is the weird way he kind of did it.
Okay.
So like some storylines are completely in book 5 and some storylines are completely in book 4, depending upon where it's taking place, if that makes sense.
Okay, but not necessarily like later chronologically.
Correct.
Okay.
But as far as I can recall, where we last left Bran in the books is basically where he's at now.
Okay. So I guess the reason why I'm asking is like when this season started airing and we were watching it, I think we watched almost every episode together.
Seems right.
I know there was a lot of speculation. Like there was a lot. Like, as soon as we realized exactly what Bran could do or will be doing, right? There was like, oh man, like this could go a lot of places.
Well, especially coming up later and soon.
Sure.
There's a big revelation as to
next episode, if I'm not mistaken.
It might be as to what Bran's powers entails.
Right.
And we'll get to that. But yes,
I guess the reason why I'm bringing this up is I wanted to ask you, like, when you learned, whether it was through the books or through this episode, like that Bran will be able to visit like memories or it, to some degree, time travel for like just for memory's sake. Like, was that a big thing to you? Were you like, oh man, like this could be huge? Or was it just like, oh, okay, like he has a power, like the same way that somebody could warg, he can do this thing?
I think it was more that because I don't think they fully explored his powers, or maybe it wasn't clear the way it becomes in the show very soon. Okay,
gotcha. All right. I thought this was a big deal. This episode, like, I'm remembering back to the first time I watched it. That, like,
him seeing.
I was like, dude, we can learn so much.
Sure.
And the first thing that I went to was we can see the Night King.
Oh,
like we can see like how the fuck these things started. Hoping that like we would figure out how to stop them, right? Or like what the key is, if you will.
Nah, Sam will figure that out. It's fine. Let's go to the wall.
Okay.
Unless you had something else to say about Crackling O'Bram. So
yeah, you're using the full dumbass name.
I fucking love it so much. So this is I fucking love Davos so much. This is where he does the apologies for what you're about to see line, right? Where he's like, where he's about to fight.
Pulls out his sword.
No, he pulls out Jon's sword. He pulls out Longclaw.
That's what I mean.
And he's like, what does he say? Like, I was never much of a fighter. Apologies for what you're about to see. Like, Davos is just the fucking man. And I cannot and will not say it enough. This dude rules.
Yes.
Turns out they don't have to fight though, because you apologize to Ed, random Night's Watch man. He fucking came through.
Truly.
And the wildlings are here, and 1-1 be doing things. He just be being awesome always and forever.
Yeah, 1-1 is the fucking man, dude.
He's so cool.
1-1 is the man.
The way he just kind of like when that dude hits him with the arrow and he just slowly like it doesn't make him like flinch or anything at all, and he just kind of slowly just like
super overdone trope, but I love it.
It's so good. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. I know what you mean.
Basic like big anime villain.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Big giant person. Yeah. Love it.
Very good.
But yeah, super overdone.
The way the guy just kind of like slides right to Sir Alistair's feet after 1-1 tosses him is also very, very good. And yeah, just you could say whatever you want, whatever pep talk you want to give them about fighting Sir Alistair. No one wants to fight that shit after seeing that happen.
Right. Let's talk about this Davos Melisandre scene.
You want to go to that already?
Well, do you not want to like take care of?
Well, I suppose we could, but that's kind of a big thing.
Okay, you're saving that.
Let's save that.
Okay,
let's save that.
We'll save it. That's fine.
Let's go to King's Landing.
King's Landing, Zombie Mountain. That's a thing.
Yeah. He's just taking out the trash. He's on garbage duty, I guess. He's just going through the streets on garbage duty, just like, bah.
My note on this is that this is so fucking unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, why is this scene here?
It's so funny to me, dude.
It's so bizarre. I guess it's just...
Hey, look at this. Yeah. This guy is big and scary.
Hey, he's big and
really
strong and scary, and he's real loyal to Cersei, I guess is what it's supposed to impart to us.
Yep. I mean, like, we all knew that.
We pretty much all knew this. This was just this dude's chance to shine, talk about how big his dick is and how he never lies.
It's usually the big jacked guys that are kind of turtling it, though, if we're being honest.
Wait, what?
Well, you said to talk about how big his dick is.
And I'm talking about the drunk guy, not the mountain. What the fuck?
I thought you were talking about the mountain.
What? The mountain doesn't say anything ever. Why would the mountain be talking about how big his dick is?
I thought that was an analogy.
No.
Like, hey, look at how big this guy's dick is.
The drunk guy was literally talking about how big his dick was.
Yeah, I know.
It's true. We do use a lot of analogies. No, this guy is literally talking about it. Anyway, I feel for Cersei here because she just wants to go to her daughter's funeral. But I also sympathize with Tommen's position in that he just wants to keep her safe.
Right.
And also then I don't think I put this in the recap, but we learn in a few minutes after this is that he tells Jaime, like, the Sparrows, whoever the High Sparrow told him that she wouldn't be allowed in the Sept if she had come regardless.
Right.
So Tommy Boy wants to keep her safe. And after his failings to do that previously, I get it.
Sure.
But also, I mean, I just feel for Cersei because she loves her children. That's like her one thing.
It's just like, it's so bizarre to me to like picture Tommen making a decision about something.
True.
Like for him to be like, no, you guys do not let my mother leave the room. Like, I just can't picture him saying that. I can't picture this guy confidently answering a simple math question. Like,
they ask him what he wants for supper, and he's like, oh.
He's like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna kill myself. I can't answer this.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I think he's trying to make up for what he's done, like, in this conversation that he has with Jaime. You know, he's like, I failed her. I'm too ashamed to basically go talk to her because I can't protect her. I can't protect my wife. So I think it's like he's trying to do better. Like, he's just so bad at it. He's so bad at everything.
Yes.
So yeah, I think the scene, much like the scene that Jaime had with Myrcella, I think this is a solid scene between him and Tommen as well, where he's doing what he can to be like a father figure to Tommen.
Right.
And you know, wants him to reconcile with Cersei. And that's probably good for the
what I think is actually like fun about this like section of the episode is I really enjoyed Jaime's confrontation with
the High Sparrow. Yes. For 100%.
Quite a bit. Like it's been long overdue because Jaime was in Dorne all last season.
No way. Was that where he was? I thought that was Cooper and Darnell.
You know what, man? You're right. Fucking Cooper and Darnell. Did I already suggest us get Cooper and Darnell tattoos? Because like,
yes, you did.
I'm 100% serious about this. Like we're doing this.
Yeah, sure. No, but you're 100% right. The talk with the High Sparrow is the best part of this scene for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes on, but I particularly love when Jaime kind of grabs his sword and the High Sparrow challenges him and says, "You would spill blood here in the Sept." And Jaime hits him with the gods really won't mind. They have spilled more blood than all of us combined.
Such a good line.
And he's fucking right, dude. Like, this is exactly how I feel about, like, this exact same situation in the real world. And I'm like, my fucking guy, dude. My fucking god, Jamie gets it, man.
Jamie is ready to throw down. And
Yes.
I do love that. Like, he is like, I give Nikolai Coster-Waldau a lot of credit. Like, you can see just like the seething,
Yes,
like rage as he's
steaming,
talking to him.
dude.
Yes, he is pissed.
Mhm.
And he wants so bad. Like, what is it? Where he says something to the High Sparrow about like, you must long for death or something like that. Just like basically like, you got a lot of balls coming in here and walking up to me, old man. Like,
Yeah.
do you have any idea how badly I want to kill you?
Yeah.
But to Jamie's credit, I feel like maybe a younger Jamie
Would have killed him.
Well, maybe, a younger, less wise, two-handed Jamie would have just like, nah, I'll just take my chances with fighting all of you.
Two-handed Jamie makes it out of there.
Two-handed Jamie probably does make it out of there. For
Yeah,
sure.
legit. Yeah,
But
he absolutely does.
One-handed Jamie has to play things a little smarter rather than two-handed Jamie would have just been me in Apex, just like going in with the P2020 and one box of ammo.
God,
One-handed
dude,
Jamie
I cannot stand you.
He's got to play it a little more conservative, shall we say. And I appreciate that he is smart enough to make that decision and is willing to play the long game, because he wants to kill
actual growth in his character.
He wants to kill the High Sparrow so bad.
Yeah.
But he's like, I've got responsibilities to, Cersei and my one remaining kid. So
yeah, my outlook, like, I've never particularly liked Tommen, but especially in this rewatch, my outlook on him has become more and more, I guess, removed from the emotional side of it.
What do you mean?
I guess I'm trying to find the right way to articulate this. Like, I have always felt for Tommen, which I still do, but I have excused his non-action or his inability to act or make a decision because I felt so emotional about his position.
Sure.
And, like, he is a very emotional character, so it's like, oh, like, poor dude,
Yeah.
But it is so much more aggravating watching him this time just incapable. I mean, he's just not capable.
I don't know. Like, he's just kind of an empty puppet. I like have a hard time holding anything against him personally, because he's just being used by literally everyone around him. And he has no real power. I think
that is my frustration, is that
Sure.
he's like, he never has the epiphany of like I'm the fucking king.
I mean,
dude.
he's soft. Like, Joffrey was a dick about it, but Joffrey was right. Like, he called out Tommen for being super soft, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing.
No,
it's
sure,
just like
but
he's in this position of leadership where it is a bad thing,
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, I do feel for Tommen. I'm at least glad that him and Cersei have reconciled, and he asked for her help because he knows he's not strong.
Yes.
And he knows she is strong, so he's like,
that's
help
a
me be
big
strong.
moment for him.
Yes.
So, credit where it's due. Like, the act of asking for help is hard enough as it is.
For sure.
In any situation. But especially to somebody who you have just kind of royally fucked over.
Yeah. Also,
Literally
who's your
royally
mom?
fucked over. Yeah, who's your mom?
Yeah.
Who is also not the nicest person in the world.
Definitely not.
Big gains for Tommen
Yes.
in that conversation. So
For sure.
I guess, credit where it's due.
Let's hit Marine real quick. It's just shit is bad. Shit is real bad.
Yeah.
And
is it okay? I don't think. I would like to think. Let me rephrase that. I would like to think that it's not simply my bias here of not enjoying Dany's storyline.
but she's not even here right now.
Well, I guess like the East, like the home marine.
Sure.
But I genuinely am curious, like for even people who are Dany stans, which is fine. Like I genuinely feel like the stakes of like what they're trying to manage fall so flat.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be a big deal.
Right.
Right? Like all these accomplishments that she's, like freeing young Kai and what's the other city?
Astapor.
Astapor.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all under the control of the masters now, which, like this is an ongoing like issue for her storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And it's starting to fall apart. And it may be my bias, and I will admit to that and acknowledge that if other people feel differently, but I just feel like this doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like this just doesn't hold weight, but it's framed in a way where there's a lot of attention towards it where it's supposed to. And
I
it
think
just, it just doesn't work for me.
We just don't have, and again, this could be an us thing of like you said, the bias, but like I just don't have the personal investment in the Eastern cities as I do with like Winterfell, for example. What's going on there? Or like King's Landing. It's just like I there have been a lot of cool, interesting things that have happened there, and a lot of cool, interesting characters, are there. And I just don't have that investment or attachment to these places.
I don't think that they're like when I think of the Seven Kingdoms, I think of this like incredibly like complicated, like living, breathing network of like politics and allies, and like it's so interesting. And so any movement there, it's like, fuck, dude, that like affects a lot.
Right.
But there's a lot of time and effort put into building that. And I just don't really feel like that's the case when it comes to the East.
It's not as much in the East, for sure.
Everything is introduced for the most part, through Dany's eyes, where it's all like it's being introduced at an elementary level. So like you don't get the intricate like
I mean,
politics.
the Seven Kingdoms is the focal point of the series, for sure. Like, I mean, Daenerys' whole journey is about getting back to the Seven Kingdoms.
Right.
For sure.
But I guess the reason why I'm bringing this up is like, as if people like you and I who are biased about not enjoying Dany's storyline or the East, as if we needed another reason to not enjoy it. It's like, dude, all these problems are coming up, and to me, it's like a time waster. It's like what the fuck are like? We don't care about any of these things.
Yeah, I will say that my biggest
is that a little crude? Maybe that's a little crude.
I don't know. I'll tell you what's crude is the only thing I can think about with these scenes that just continues to bug me for always and forever is the way they treat these chains. Like they're just like we talked about it when Daenerys put the chains on the dragons, how there is no way in hell she is lifting those fucking things.
Absolute idiot.
I cannot get over these fucking chains. It would not work like that in real life. Him just pulling a pin and these things fall off. That's not how shit works. There would be so much pressure on that pin from the weight of the shackle itself. You wouldn't just be able to pull it out like it was nothing.
Man, maybe it's lubed up, dude.
Bugs
it's
me.
Got that KY
it doesn't
shit
matter. There would be so much weight on it from the shackle. But it's all I can think about when I watch these scenes. Yeah. It's
literal Tyrion, a literal dwarf. It's just like
well, yeah, I see. I thought you were gonna go with there's an actual dwarf in this scene, like with dragons, and you're caring about the the fucking. I thought you were going somewhere else.
He's a literal dwarf, and he's just like
it bugs, dude. It's literally all I can focus on in these scenes, and it bugs me so much.
That is a little ridiculous.
Listen.
Fuck off.
That's what we do. We get ridiculous here. This is also where we get the amazing "I drink and I know things" line that has been on every T-shirt ever since
every
then.
Mug.
And I just don't like it. It's so cringe.
Every fucking Yeti tumbler. Every keychain, every hat.
Hey, it's not on my Yeti
bullshit.
Tumbler, so fuck off,
dude. Like this is. We said
it's
this.
It's not a very good line.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
This is maybe it is simply because it was commercialized in a way.
Yeah.
It's
no,
fine.
I didn't like it before.
I mean, I feel like my viewpoint on it is incredibly skewed because of the result of everything.
Could be.
But this is one of those lines that if you all have been following us for a while, you will recall at the beginning of season 5 where I mentioned to Scott, and we talked about this at length, that like there's just kind of a dip in the dialogue and the quality of the dialogue, and it has shifted from being like thoughtful, meaningful conversation to like one-hit wonder, like punchy lines.
Punchy lines, yep.
Punchy lines.
Punchy dialogue.
That can be put on a t-shirt, that can be sold, that can be commercialized.
Put in a trailer.
Right, exactly. And I just feel like that's one of those, man. It's just and maybe the line is okay, maybe it's not great, maybe it's not bad, but because it was used in that way, I absolutely am like, oh my god!
Are we hipsters, Zach, in that we just hate this because it like became popular as a thing? I don't know. Maybe
we just accept who we are.
We're Game of Thrones hipsters,
biased assholes. Oh, dude, there are people way worse than us.
No, true. The people who say, "Oh, this way it happened in the books," those fuckers.
Well, that's you.
You know
though.
what I'm talking about? Nah, it couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Bravos. Just okay. So this is. We talked about this last week, and I won't belabor the point, but
wait. Another one. Next time I have an idea like that, punch me in the face.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
Come
I wasn't even going to talk
dude.
about that
like,
one.
What is this, a fucking Cartoon Network show?
No, it's
like,
literally a Marvel movie. Like, those are Marvel-ass movie
dude,
lines, for sure.
So bad. Dude, did we just clip off another half of our fucking audio?
Yes, I had to make sure to get there.
Shit.
The Bravo stuff from last week should have been in this episode. We talked about this last week, how it seemed very odd that was the one scene.
Wait, is it because what happens in this episode is the same thing that
happens?
Is the
same exact thing, except just Jaqen comes in at the end. It was so weird last week and seemed out of place. And after watching this episode, I'm like, yeah, that should have just happened
in this episode. Yes.
But this is just straight up Jaqen being the devil. Do you know about like the part in the Bible where the devil goes to Jesus and literally like tempts him with food and this and all this shelter and all this stuff? This is just Jaqen's the devil. And you know, Arya's like,
you're such a cute little good Bible boy.
Yeah,
look at you, Scotty.
Boy. This is also the easiest test ever because it's the most obvious test ever. And all she has to do is be like, nah. And then he's like, okay, cool. Let's get out of here.
All right, cool. Let's go. Okay, cool. Let's go. Of those things.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Arya's been out here for 2 days. Oh, that was easy. I don't know. It's probably way worse than that. It just, I'm glad we're moving on because this waif bullying Arya with the stick needed to end. Like, it only happened for 1.5 episodes and I was so over it already.
There is a, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to talk about it. I'll just wait till that episode comes out.
Wait until that episode. Anything else you have to say about Bravos?
No, I mean, you honestly kind of covered my thoughts. I'm just glad that it's going somewhere finally.
Truly. This Winterfell stuff, dude. Jeez.
There's a lot to talk about here.
There's a lot to talk about, but I don't even want to talk about it that much. One, because, jeez, this episode's going to be long. And two, I just hate Ramsay so much, and I hate where the storyline is going, and it's just everything here sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, look, dude, like, to be fair, strictly from, like, a story writing standpoint, we knew that Ramsay had to go. Or, I'm sorry, excuse me, Roose had to go.
Correct.
At some point.
Yes. I mean, they could not coexist. One of them had to go, and
correct.
If one of them was going to go, it's obviously Roose.
It's gonna be Roose. I guess like my thing here is that well, I mean, we've talked about this already, and I don't want to like harp on the same fucking thing every time, but it's just there's so little weight when it comes to the reason for Ramsay's like just like as Roose called it, like mad dog like way of doing things. Like he is just so much over the top, and it would be maybe fun is not the right word considering like how awful he is, but like it would be more captivating if there was a little bit more like, I guess, to it.
Yeah.
It's just
more substance behind it.
Yeah, it's just so fucking one note.
Yes.
It's like, even though it's extreme comparatively to the rest of like the things we see in the show, in the North, in these Winterfell scenes, it is monotone. It's like the same. Like this guy is just there, dude.
He's very one note. Like
he's
so that's exactly
one
the way
note,
to put it.
dude. Yeah,
he's
I
sadistic,
can't.
Psychotic, and
right.
nothing else.
And look. Like to be fair, like that is likely the point, right?
Sure, and yeah, it's just not
my cup of tea.
It's just not for me. Like we talked about before, bringing up the comparison, like even Joffrey, there was more to that character.
Yes.
Like there was also the aspect that he was like a coward.
Glad you mentioned that.
He was a coward and like, was like, had this like desire to like prove himself as like a big tough king, but then when it actually came time to prove himself, like, he never wanted to do it.
Well, okay, the 3 Ramsay stands in the world might tell you that well, Ramsay is afraid for his position, and that's why, he kills his father and his stepmother and baby brother. But yeah, man, it's just like this guy just has no like substance or like, like a backstory to make me give a fuck about why he's making these absurd fucking decisions.
And here's honestly, even past the Ramsay aspect of it, my bigger problem with this is just that we have known Roose, and Roose has been built up as just this extremely shrewd. Nice. That was pretty good, actually. That was so loud. Extremely shrewd mind tactician.
Right.
Like has a plans C through Z for every situation. And dude just like he knows what Ramsay is. He is telling Ramsay to his face, "You're a mad dog,
and you're gonna be treated like that."
Yes, but has no idea that this mad dog could bite him and stab him in the gut.
It's not very respectful of Roose's character.
Correct. Well. That's honestly my biggest part of it. Is this just like, this should not come as a surprise for Roose. It doesn't come as a surprise for me in the audience. Like, obviously, I've seen this before, but in the moment, first time watching it, I was like, yeah, Ramsay's going to kill Roose's ass 100%. And then he does.
Say, like, I definitely knew that Ramsay would kill Walda, right? Is her name?
Yeah.
Okay, Walda and the new baby sibling. But like I was slightly like, oh shit, when he killed Roose, but immediately after that passed, I was like, well, it's Ramsay. Like Ramsay's a fucking psycho. You know what I mean? Like, so I guess that is, I think exactly what you're saying is like Roose should have seen this.
Roose should have seen this coming and had some contingencies for it, but he seems like so shocked and so. Maybe it's just like, maybe that's Roose's downfall was that his hubris, his arrogance, whatever, I guess, but it just seems like that hasn't really been the character of Roose that was presented to us to this point,
right? And
then suddenly he just like his shrewdness and his plans just failed him out of nowhere, and that bugs me. Also, I just want to say this next part fucking sucks to watch.
Yeah,
it's
truly
not cool or okay. And also, it makes me hate Ramsay even more because the the fucking asshole can't even do his own dirty work. Like he has to have the dogs do it because he is also sucks too bad to even, it sucks. Like, I hate Ramsay, and not in like I love to hate this guy kind of way,
Yes. Like Joff.
Like Joff. And I'm not saying Joff is a perfect character either.
Or like, and maybe an even better one is like Alistair.
Yes, Alistair is a very good
That's
example.
such a good example of somebody that you love to hate.
Yes.
Like
because
this guy is just he's such a catalyst in like moving along these main character stories.
That is a great example, Zach.
Yeah. I love Alistair.
Because
but
also
he's a piece
like
of shit, like,
from in certain ways from his perspective, you can be like, he kind of like, if you look at things from his way, like, he's kind of
he's not wrong. He's not wrong in a lot of ways. I mean,
he's not every way.
He's closed-minded,
right?
In many ways, but like you do at the very least, you understand where he's coming from,
Correct.
and a rational person can empathize with that, and maybe address it. But you can't do that with Ramsay.
Yeah, no. It's just there's nothing there to.
Yeah, I'm very glad that you brought that up.
Or like Cersei. Cersei is another great example.
Truly, yes.
Of like just like not a good person, like at all.
Sure.
Does so many terrible things, but there is enough of a character there, enough redeeming qualities where in certain situations you can like sympathize with her, empathize with her, and like, maybe sometimes like root for her in certain situations. I think
that a part of this is that, well, I mean, this might be me making an excuse, but this might be us being a little spoiled in getting these like really well defined and fleshed out like villainous characters. When I think of that, I think of characters actually Alistair is one of them. I think of Tywin. I think of Cersei. I think
Tywin's like the hero of the story, right?
I think of Snape. Shit like that, right? Yeah. Like just people who are like we're not always going to get this like incredibly deep and emotional.
That's a pretty good call out. We are probably a little spoiled. Not probably it's probably a lot to ask for every character to be on that level.
Sure.
But, hey, we're going to call it out when we see it and when we don't like it. So,
yeah.
That's just what it is. This Sansa, Brienne, Theon on Pod stuff is pretty quick. I did like just like the little chuckle Sansa had about the Arya thing.
About Arya, yes.
Yeah, where she's just like, no, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
What does Brienne say? Like she looked a little wild or something, like, or she wasn't dressed like a lady. That's what Brienne says, and Sansa's
like, no, she wouldn't be.
Yeah, she wouldn't be. That's good stuff. Also, very tender moment between Theon and Sansa. I don't remember liking their kind of that like relationship that developed between them so much, but on this rewatch I have liked it a lot.
Yeah, so Amanda is so behind on the podcast, so I don't know if she'll actually ever hear this unless she's like listening right now, but
she's doing Salamander Jones thing, dude.
She's playing her Salamander Jones. So no,
not a euphemism.
She gonna play that Salamander Jones a little later though, Mom, right?
God damn it.
She during our watch through, she expressed how much she loved Theon.
Mm-hmm.
And for all you people out there who may think that that's really stupid because Theon is not the most likable character, a huge part of it is Alfie Allen's like performance. Like
sure.
Amanda always gravitates to characters who are like broken or like who undergo like a extremely drastic change. So that is her attraction to like that character build, if you will, right? And I think it frustrates me because it's like you have all these other good characters to choose from, and you like that fucking guy. And so I just like naturally, it was like knee jerk for me to just be like, fuck this guy. Because Amanda would tell me about it and I'd be like, nah, you're fucking stupid. That guy sucks, you know?
Just have to be contrarian to your wife.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I definitely look, let's not beat around the bush here. Our bias has showed this a million times, but like, we tend to have kind of like an elitist like mindset of a lot of the things that we like about the show, which Look, that's why we're doing this fucking podcast, so we can tell you guys what we think about it. So that should come as no surprise to anybody. But this watch through, I have to agree with you, Scott. I have enjoyed, maybe not his entire arc, but like I have found a new appreciation for it. Maybe is the right way to explain it, and especially in these moments where he is developing his relationship, or we're seeing more of the dividends of his relationship with Sansa.
100%. And like for all, like we've talked plenty about Theon's character and what we dislike about it. Way more of an interesting character than Ramsay, just to like compare again.
Yeah, man.
Like Theon isn't someone I love to hate, but I respect that character.
Sure.
Not a good character again. Like
sure.
Not a like you know what I'm saying? Like not a.
You're not gonna go and introduce this guy to your mom,
right? But again, way more of an interesting arc there than Ramsay.
If I can please call out one more thing before we move on.
Yes, for sure.
I know you've probably seen just about every interview out there that I have about Game of Thrones and the cast members and stuff, but I do want to call out specifically Alfie Allen and Ewan Rion's like friendship.
Oh yeah, they're like super.
They're
buds,
like best
right?
buds.
Yeah,
they're like
that's hilarious.
Best buds, and they like their friendship was developed because of Game of Thrones, and they're just so fucking pure and joyful, and I genuinely am like, I love these two guys.
That is amazing because it's like it's obviously the polar opposite of what happens on screen, right. And that is great. I do
absolutely zero shade to Ewan Rion.
No, 100%.
He's fantastic.
Yes,
like he really is great at depicting this like just fucking ridiculously psychotic person.
Yeah, 100%.
He's also a great musician.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He writes music. He puts like he's a great musician. He's a great singer, guitar player. Cool. Yeah, I actually quite like him like a lot. Like in interviews, I'm like, this guy seems fucking cool as shit.
That is cool.
He's funny, and his relationship again with Alfie Allen is so fun to see in these interviews.
Yeah,
so
I've seen that, and
just want to call that out.
A lot of fun.
If y'all have not checked this out, just look up anything about like his name's spelled weird. It's like Iwan.
Yeah, I couldn't spell it for you.
And Alfie Allen. Yeah, great relationship.
100%. Like, unless we specifically call out a performance, like, which we do pretty rarely, because honestly, we've talked about this before. Like, the casting, for the most part, across the board in this show is phenomenal.
Yes.
Coming up, let's talk about. Shall we talk about Bam Margera here? Is that who you wanted to bring up?
No, it's not who I wanted to bring up. But no, I just remind me to talk about the casting at the end of this.
Okay, fine.
Let's get through this recap.
The Iron Islands. I don't have much to say here. Dude, what do you want to say?
What I want to say is, this might be kind of polarizing. They got to raise the taxes in the Iron Islands, man.
What?
Listen to me. Hear me out. They got to raise the taxes on Pike.
Oh, for the bridges?
The bridges? A rope bridge?
Nah, that's just kind of Pike, baby. You don't know.
A rope bridge, dude. They're so behind the times. They got to invest in their infrastructure. They got to raise those taxes. Come on, man.
I love this platform you're running on.
Dude.
No, this is just the Iron Islanders bit. We got to prove
they're fucking stupid.
Well, yes, we got to prove how cool and tough we are by fucking walking through this storm on this crusty ass bridge. Just like that's their whole shtick, my guy. It's like, oh, what is dead may never die. I'll fucking get tossed off this and get just get absolutely wrecked by the storm.
Will always die.
But what is untaxed may never die. This is their whole shtick, my dude.
Dude, where's the Bernie Sanders of the fucking Iron Islands, man? Let's go, dude. We need a better infrastructure.
That's Dampere, who's just like, no, we will democratically elect a new leader. You ain't the king of shit. Dude, that's literally her uncle, who's the priest guy that.
Dude, that whole Man, like
I am once again asking you to have a king's milk.
dude, the 1%. They don't invest in their infrastructure. They're gonna get us all killed.
I need someone to Photoshop Bernie sitting in the chair, like onto that shore, like just there at the Iron Islands as they're having his funeral.
Dude, okay, what do you, I don't know that I've ever, like, directly asked you about
Okay,
this.
sure, hit me.
Can you just tell me about your, like, overall thoughts about Euron? Now that we have introduced this new player here.
I don't know what to even say.
I feel, okay, if I could take a guess, because as shitty as of a fan as this makes me, even though I've not read these books, I do know of Euron from the books, and I know of oh shit, what's the other brother's name?
Victarion.
Victarion
Is the actual interesting one.
And Euron is, in a way, in the show, correct me if I'm wrong, he's almost written in a way that kind of embodies both of them.
Yes. He kind of encompasses, not to the complete degree, but here's my take. Euron, more interesting in the books than he is in the show, but
does he look like Bam Margera in the books?
Probably. But also, he's not super interesting, in my opinion, even in the books. Victarion is the way more interesting character from the books, who is another one of Yara's uncles, Euron and Balon's brother. Not in the show. Like you said, they kind of fold his character a little bit into Euron.
Okay.
But again, we don't even know where that goes. That's kind of cut off midway through his storyline, so who knows where that will go. But Euron, I just don't really care. Like, and that's kind of my whole on the Iron Islands as a whole. I just don't.
There's so much potential of things that could be cool when it comes to the Iron Islands, but it's just one, it's not the main part of the story, so it's not going to be invested in as much, which is kind of like what you calling out my thought on Essos, which it's kind of the same thing. Like, Essos is not meant to be the main part of the story, so like we're not going to be as attached to it. But I do think that like the idea of like these people who are like hardworking, like you only get what you earn, like you have to, like, I don't know, just the idea. I guess I don't know how else to articulate it, but like the idea of the Iron Islands and their culture is cool, but
it doesn't make it all the way there.
It does. It just falls really, really flat.
Yeah,
in my opinion. I find myself rolling my eyes a lot watching their stuff.
There are cool ideas and principles there, but I think there's just it doesn't quite get there for me. Like, and that's the case. That's the case in the books, honestly, as well. Like, yes, there are more interesting things than what happens in the show, but that being said, it's like when I hit an Iron Islands chapter, I'm not like, excited jumping for Jor. I'm just like, okay.
Sure.
Did I say jumping for Jor?
Yeah, who's Jor?
Jorah, that's my guy. I'm jumping for Jor. No, definitely not.
Fuck Jorah.
Anything else you want to say about this? Let's get back to
okay, like I guess just for the sake of our new watchers who are watching Game of Thrones for the first time. I guess painting the picture here, like the Iron Islands has been kind of left out of the conversation for the past couple seasons of like what they are doing. And I think a big part of it is that like, oh fucking hell, please remind me Theon's dad's name.
Balon is unable to get with the times and play politics. Right? He's living in this like his own world. Yeah, he's just not intelligent. He's just not smart.
Yeah, he's not. Like
Yara literally tells him, "We're seafaring people. We can't hold these like northern castles against
anybody,
especially the Northerners who know the land better than we do, and yet you keep
sending men to die. Basically,
keep sending men to die. You keep trying these rebellions, and you just fail, and never learn your lesson.
And so, like, for the purpose of setting the board here, like, Balon dying is the opportunity for the Iron Islands to actually get brought into the fold, because he's been so hard and against diplomacy and striking deals and anything. And we see this back actually when Robb is marching on the south.
Robb's proposal. Yeah.
Right. So, like, just for that sake, like, that's a cool opportunity for the Iron Islands. Will it happen? Will it not? Obviously, we'll have to see. But, like, him dying does give the opportunity for the Iron Islands to actually be brought into the fold.
All I've got to say is Mel's fifth leech coming up clutch here. Like, maybe she wouldn't have lost her faith if she knew that fifth leech she burned way back in season 2 was finally coming up clutch. All 5
Did
teams.
she burn a leech for Balon?
She burned one for all of the
shit.
Not Stannis obviously, but
all
for
the self-proposed
for the other
kings.
4 kings.
Yeah, okay, you're right. That's hilarious.
He actually died. He's one of the first to die in the books, if I recall correctly. It's funny that he's the very last to die.
Wait. When does he die?
He dies so early. Before Robb, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but he dies super early.
As soon as I finish Stormlight Archives, I think I'm gonna reread Game of Thrones.
You guys should. After I finished my reread, I preached the good word, but you guys should read those books. Turns out they're real good. Let's talk about this. Is what we've been waiting for. Yeah, this Castle Black scene.
Hey, Scotty, this episode's going long.
This episode's going so long.
Guys, I hope y'all are enjoying this shit because, hey, I'm having a good time talking about it.
How is it possibly going this long? Davos is just the fucking man, is my main takeaway from this scene.
My only beef with this is, why did this conversation not happen sooner?
He's been a little busy. They were kind of like under siege, my guy. Like, they had to take care of the immediate problems. No, fuck off. Several small things here I want to point out of why Davos is the fucking man. When he first walks in, he tells her, "I'm sure you know why I'm here," which is just a hilarious little jab at her and her prophecies and her seeing everything in the flames.
And her response is even funnier.
Her response was, "I'll know once you tell me." Very, very good back and forth from the both of them. But I love how Davos is like, "Oh, you must know why I'm here. You see everything, right?"
You know what's hilarious though is, like, I don't think that's how Davos intended it.
No, it's not like he's being malicious.
Is, like, trying to be like, hey, like, I know you know things.
Right. No, 100%. He probably, like, I mean, maybe just a smidge of him is like, I'll give her a little jab. But I think you're right. Like, what did he tell, like, the other Night's Watchman? Like, you haven't seen the things that I've seen.
She can do. Right. Like, essentially, yeah.
He knows her power. Some of her powers are real.
Right.
And then he also has the amazing part where Melisandre says something about, like, her god has abandoned her, something like that, and he's just like, fuck him then. It's just like, fuck all the gods. I don't know, I don't care. Just like, is there anything you can do for my guy out here?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Well,
I don't give a shit.
Like, what he says is, he's like, I don't give a shit, like, if it's, obviously this is paraphrasing.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if it's the Lord of the Light, the Seven, the fucking gods in
drowned
the trees,
god,
like the drowned god. They're all the same to me, dude. Like, they don't mean shit. The fact of this matter is that you have powers.
Mm-hmm.
Can you fucking do something or not? And she's like, no, I don't have this power. And he's like, well, have you ever tried?
Have you ever tried? What a guy.
What a fucking guy.
We should all have a Davos in our life. Just to be like, have you ever tried, man? Like, hey, just to be in your corner. Mel is so down here. And Davos hates Mel, by the way, or like has hated her in the past. Maybe at this exact moment in time, he's a little indifferent to her, but him like gassing her up.
Yes.
Yeah, seeking her out and gassing her up. Obviously, it's like to fulfill his own agenda. Like, you know, like that's another thing I was thinking about when I watched this episode. This is a quick sidebar here. Maybe not quick. How much must Davos have seen in Jon in their short time together where he believes in Jon so much where to this degree where he's not asking Mel, hey, let's go find Stannis' body somewhere outside Winterfell and see if we can bring that dude back. No, he wants her to try and bring Jon back.
So, I agree with this to an extent. He's also in the mindset of like, well, these guys want to kill us. And like Jon being resurrected will probably stop that.
Sure.
But
I'm just saying.
I agree with what you're saying though. Like
I think Jon has left an impression on Davos in their short time spent together.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. I mean, like the way that Jon is written, whether it's stuff that's like explicitly like shown with very like particular scenes, is that like this guy affects everybody that he's around.
Yeah.
Like from this guy being introduced, he is supportive. He displays leadership. He believes in people. He protects. I mean, like this guy.
He's willing to make hard choices.
Yes. Like this guy he has it all, man. I mean, like when you guys think of like your typical good guy, you might picture like an arrogant piece of shit, like a Prince Charming. But this is actually what it looks like. Yeah, like this is the actual makeup of the perfect protagonist.
Agreed. Jon's.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I know that there's a lot of people out there who like don't think his story is very interesting, and I can kind of like get behind that. Like he doesn't.
I see. I disagree. Well, I think it's a little maybe
these are the people,
not predictable, but like it's a hero's journey. Like it's nothing you've not seen before.
Yes,
but
that's what I was going to say.
If it ain't like, broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying?
It might be a little standard.
Yeah.
I guess like there's also a big part of that group of people who are like, well, dragons are cool.
Dragons are cool.
Like you know, he's not doing shit like fucking like hatching dragons, and he's not doing all these like crazy epic things. But like this is just a guy who came. You can't really say came from nothing, but came from a shit spot.
Yeah.
And embraced that and became more than that. And is emotionally there for people, cares about people, like
makes the most out of shit situations. Like we talked a lot about how when he first got to the wall and found out it was not at all what he thought it was.
It's like, well, I got to do what I got to do.
Yep.
Like this guy, like again, the genetic makeup of a character build for a classic hero, it's Jon.
It's Jon.
Snow. It's Jon Snow.
And people may find that a little boring and a little vanilla, but
listen, the fact that he's well written.
Jon is not my number one character in the show, but I will never not stand for him because he is great.
Sure. That's a very, very, very good way to like place him.
Yeah.
Because how could you just not care about this person?
Especially after the incredible hot streak he's been on through season 5 and may continue to go on throughout this season.
So anyway, that's a whole thing. Davos is like, yo, this is our fucking guy. Save his ass.
By the way, quickly, another line I had from Davos here that I have to call out is like one sentence after he's basically says fuck it to all the gods. He has the quick little line of, I'm not a devout man, obviously. And I'm like, oh, wait, no way, really? You literally just said, like, fuck all the gods, and then you have to tell her I'm not a devout man, obviously. I love Davos so much. He's so funny. So yeah, that's good stuff. Sorry, continue.
No, I mean, I was honestly just kind of finishing your thought. Like, he's like, yo, Jon's our guy.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna die. So can you please save him, pretty please?
Yeah, pretty please.
And she's like, all
just
right.
Just try. That's
yeah,
all
just try. So Mel goes into the room, performs her little
cut and shampoo.
Yeah, I was gonna try and make a joke. What are the people that like prep bodies for funerals?
Arya. She's just doing Arya shit.
Okay, sure, yes. What are they actually called?
Morticians.
Yeah, she's just giving
a little
the
bit
old mortician treatment. And starts muttering in her weird Valyrian shit. And I don't think this was like a surprise to really anybody, but it's definitely written in like a suspenseful way where it's like, oh shit, is this gonna work or is this not gonna work? Tormund gets pissed off, storms out of the room. He's like, this shit ain't working. Finally, after a couple moments of silence go by, Ghost stirs, and Jon wakes up, gasping for air, like very confused. It seems like.
Wouldn't you be? I have to call out, and I feel like we've talked about this. I'm sure you noticed this before as well, but probably my favorite part of this scene. What are you doing?
Just taking a picture.
Okay, great. She's doing all this stuff, all this Valyrian chanting, all this shit. Nothing is happening yet. And then Mel just very quietly says, please. And that's such a good moment for her character, because like for her in this moment at this time, she needs something, anything.
Yes.
And I adore that moment for her character. I think it's just played extremely well in the scene. Also, I'm not a dog man, but I am a direwolf man, and Ghost just being a little sleepy boy on the floor. He's so cute. He's so goddamn cute, and I love him to death. He's just a little sleepy big boy.
I'm not a dog man, but I am a direwolf.
But he's so big, but he's so sleepy. He is as sleepy as he is big.
Okay. All right.
This moment rules. Like, I think most people that knew
of Jon's death.
Well, yes, but I was going to say most people that have any concept of story structure probably knew this was coming. Like, sure. we knew this was going to happen.
Yes.
But that doesn't lessen this moment and its impact, I feel, much at all.
Right.
Like, it still is like, when he gasps his way, like, back to life.
You're waiting for a reason to cheer, and you finally have it.
Yes. And then it cuts to credits. It's just like, Jon's back.
Yes, dude.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that completely, man. It's a great moment. I especially remember this moment watching it with you in your apartment. You were stroking your long claw, and Chaz was there. There's gotta
be a better way to say that.
No, dude.
Actually, no, I like that way. Yeah, I like, yeah.
Yeah, Chaz was there. Amanda was there. Yeah. We were all watching, and if I'm recalling correctly, you stood up at the end of the episode and you're like, I fucking knew it.
Oh, yes. So I think I called very specifically before the season started. I was like, I think Jon will be back by the end of episode 2. And I think that's why I was so stoked, because I called it exactly right. Yeah. It's great stuff. Zach, I want to hear, what was your thing about, well, there's a couple things. Very up and down on this episode, something, and then also something about performances you wanted to talk about.
Performances I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, casting or...
Oh, okay.
Something.
That is not particular to this episode, but we had a conversation. So over the past week, I moved my brother-in-law out of their old place and into their new place. well, out of their old place into storage and into their new place, which was a whole fucking time. But,
yeah, we talked about this at the beginning of the episode. Move on.
Yeah. But during this, they are also big Game of Thrones fans. We talked about the casting of this show, and I made a comment, and I tend to be a little maybe exaggerative in some cases. Y'all have maybe seen that.
We will all engage in a little hyperbole from time to time.
Yeah. And I said, I think that this is the best casted show in existence. I don't think that there's ever been a TV series that has been casted more appropriately than this. And I was like, I might even say that every casting is great. Every casting in this show is great. And and you know, like my sister-in-law was like, well, some people have been replaced in this show, like the Mountain, for example, or like Dario, excuse me. I think Amanda maybe mentioned Dario. And she's like, that has to hold some weight. And I'm like, yeah, but like, it's not to say that the old casting was bad. It's just that like it, you know, like they just went a different direction, and it's not bad now. Until I remembered that Obara Sand exists.
Oh yeah, how could you? I thought you were gonna bring up old Bam Margera.
No, dude, no, man, fucking Obara Sand.
How could you forget about Obara Sand?
This is now.
She told you who she was so many times, Zach.
I guess you're right. Oh
my God.
But despite Obara Sand, I guess the reason why I wanted to bring this up is I wanted to ask you: do you feel like there's anybody who's miscast?
Okay. There is one that I've always kind of has stuck out in my mind. I think I've told you this before. And I want to preface this by saying the way they cast him and the way they took that character's direction actually turned it out for very good in this show. But from the beginning, the one that I always felt was a little off and weird was the leader of the wildlings. What is his name?
What is his name?
Fuck.
I'm a little buzzed, so I have an excuse.
Yeah, jeez. My memory is terrible. It gets
Mance Rayder.
Mance Rayder, thank you, Jesus. The way he is described in the books and just like his personality,
you've told me this before.
I feel like does not fit with
how he's written in the books.
Well, how he's cast in the show.
Well, okay, sure.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I want to preface the direction they took him and the performance for what it was phenomenal, and I ended up loving it. But he's just presented as way more of like a very like a very kind of like
passive,
fun-loving scoundrel type. Like he's always like playing like a lute, like he's a bard almost. Like he's
sure, okay.
He's very just kind of charismatic and charming, and that didn't really come across as much, that aspect of it.
Sure.
In the show.
I think that a big part of that, and I don't think that you would disagree, is that like Game of Thrones became like the first like low fantasy, touching the edges of dark fantasy to become like a hit.
Sure.
And I think that taking him in that direction would have been kind of like I just think a little backwards. Like I think that this show in particular, contrary to like to the way it's written in the books, I think really thrives off of powerful, like
authoritative more presences.
Authoritative. Yeah, is probably a good way, but also like maybe even like quietly like manipulative.
Sure.
Like personalities.
Yeah.
I think that's like a really, really big driving force in the show. And I just don't like I guess what I'm really getting at here is like if he had been cast in a way to represent the way he's written in the books, I don't know that it would have fit well with the show as a whole. You know what I mean?
The comparison that just occurred to me is it's almost like this is going to sound very odd, but if you've read the books, I think you might agree with me. It's almost like him and Bronn should have switched places. As odd as that sounds, because Bronn in the show, I kind of fits that. He's very kind of charming, charismatic. He sings. My dude has a lovely singing voice. He's a little bit of a scoundrel and schemer. And Bronn in the books is a little more serious.
Only because I've actually met Mance in the books. I don't think that that's as crazy as a take as you may think it is. Well, I think that's actually really maybe kind of like super spot on. If I'm being honest,
super based. No,
super based.
I don't think it's a crazy take. It just seems a little off the wall if you haven't read the books. Anyway, we are getting so far off topic here. I don't think you're totally off in saying that this is one of the best cast shows of all time. I think where you went off the rails a little bit was that every single casting ever is the best casting ever. Right. You might have stretched it a little bit there.
Sure. I don't know, man. Like this, it's just such a big production, and like for there to be one issue that I have, Obara Sand, it's just like really fucking minimal, dude. Like considering how large this whole thing is. I think that's more my take.
Let me say this specifically in that there are half a dozen different casting off the top of my head that I think, you could not possibly have gotten anyone more perfect for that. Like there is literally, if you had unlimited budget and unlimited pull, it wouldn't matter. I still would want Charles Dance as Tywin. I would still want Mark Addy as King Robert. I would still want Sean Bean as Ned.
Yes.
Like there are Arya. I would still want Maisie Williams as Arya. There are like so many of those where it's like, no, it's literally perfect. So and that is what maybe is most impressive.
Okay, I do have another question, and I know that this episode is already running long. But look, Jesus. Dude, we haven't graced our listeners with a long episode in a long time.
A lot of them love it because they are gluttons for punishment.
Y'all are fucking weirdos. But I am curious. I don't know why this question's coming up now. Maybe it's because I'm a little buzzed.
You're a little buzzy.
Do you wish that the show explored the Lady Stoneheart storyline?
Boy, we're getting into that, huh?
Yeah. Well, I kind of like when we were thinking about casting, I was thinking about Catelyn, and I was like, it just kind of like trailed off into that.
I don't know. Without knowing where it goes and how it ends, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay. Were you excited to learn of Lady Stoneheart in the books?
I mean, excited is a weird word for it.
Who brings her back, right?
Kind of, sort of, no. I don't really want to spoil that. Because it's very interesting and intriguing and like, holy shit, what is happening here?
I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that, to be honest with you.
Okay, all right.
I think at the time on first watch, I was like, yeah, where's Lady Stoneheart?
Okay.
In hindsight, maybe. Like, listen, I understand, like...
Sometimes you have to put characters in
some point, the show had to end because the books are never going to end, so...
Yeah.
There's that. Okay. But anyway.
Scott, do you have any final thoughts on this episode?
One quick one. There's a line I missed that I thought was very funny. This is actually from Roose. R.I.P. He had one great line, last in him. This is when they're basically getting the news that like 6 of Ramsay's best hunters, not his 20 best men, but 6 good men, are dead and all this. And Ramsay, like Roose is just looking at Ramsay like, yeah, you fucked up again, my dude. And Ramsay says, they obviously had help. And Roose just hits him with I didn't think Lady Sansa killed them all herself. And I'm just like, that's good, Roose.
Sure.
That's really good. That was it. Anything else from you?
Yeah, the only thing is that the music when Jon wakes up and it rolls into the credits is so epic, dude.
Well, just like the silence before that, we didn't really talk about.
Yes.
So
the silence and then his gasp. But like when I'm picturing the first time watching this at your place, when it was airing, there was a silence. We were like, oh, it's probably gonna happen now, right? We're gonna see this happen. He wakes up, and then the music starts. And
so
as
good.
if we weren't already hype,
Yeah.
it was like this music was like, no, guys, now's the time to be hype. Like,
Get fucking hype!
Get fucking hype, dude.
Hell yeah.
It's so good, dude. That music is so intense and so good. And
the end of that episode is great. It's very, very good.
Truly.
Hey, let's do that thing that we do.
Let's do the thing we do.
This is time for Who Be Thrown In. Where we last left off, season 6, episode 1. We had an interesting list here. Sansa's...
Dude, you sounded like somebody jump cut you.
Did what?
Who be thrown it? Where we last left off.
Yeah, we do be jump cutting. Sansa looking good in her season 6 fit here, by the way. She's not quite there yet, but I'm glad I updated that picture.
I was going to ask you, did you update these pictures?
Well, last week. We already talked about this.
We
Doesn't
did?
matter. Yes.
I don't
Anyway.
remember.
Sansa looking good, number 1 spot. Alistair Thorne, number 2. Boy, he will probably drop. Number 3 was Theon. Number 4 was Brienne, and number 5 was my guy Davos. He's gonna go up. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that right now. Sansa, I think, can come off. Yeah, she was barely in this episode. Like, her scene wasn't bad, but I just don't think there's much there. Same can be said for Brienne and Theon, I feel like. And obviously Sir Alistair got put in jail, so he is coming off for sure. Zach, I'm not going to beat around the bush on this one. I think we need to institute a new rule. You know, we have these rules for Who Be Thrown In that we always follow without fail and never ever break them. I want to institute a rule that says that if you come back to life, you go on the list. If you literally come back from the dead,
okay, I'm all right with that.
You make the list.
I'm all right with that.
Probably top the list.
I'm all right with that.
Okay, let's just. This episode has gone on long enough. Let's not waste anyone's time and put the now resurrected Jon Snow at number 1. Who are you thinking, pal?
Man, it's honestly, it's really tough because, like, despite this episode being mostly good, it doesn't really end with anybody in like a particularly good position or a good spot. You know what I mean? Like yes, Arya's situation seems to have been like getting better.
It's
but
improved, but it's like,
we still haven't really seen the fruits of that.
Right.
I feel like somebody in King's Landing should be talked about, but like I can't really figure out, like, do I think it's Jaime because of his scene with the High Sparrow?
That's what I was gonna maybe suggest.
Or is it Cersei because now she has Tommen, the King of Westeros, like coming back to her and asking for her help, which does truly improve her position.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know who it should be, but I feel like we need to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, like Jaime is that you make a good point about Cersei. I wasn't really thinking about her. I was thinking more Jaime, but he does just kind of have to back down. But his scenes are really good though.
Correct. Right.
Cersei I can definitely see. I think she would be the only other one. Let's throw them both up there for now, and then we can eliminate if needed.
Okay.
There's Jaime.
Okay, look, this is the one that I don't really want to address, but I think that like we at least need to converse about it. Like, do we consider Ramsay?
I think we have to.
Okay.
As much as I don't want to, he did just become Lord Bolton.
Right. And effectively like a Warden of the North.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does not deserve a new picture, by the way. That's my silent protest against Ramsay.
Oh my god.
I have one
that
you're gonna love. What about my guy Cracklin' Oatbrand?
Dude, I thought about that. God, you're so fucking dumb. I hate you so much.
It's for those just listening. It's literally a picture of cereal. It's just Cracklin' Oatbrand.
I think he's at least in the discussion. I don't know that he makes the list, but
okay.
Let's keep him up.
Tyrion successfully unchained the dragons,
and Tyrion also delivers a trailer-worthy line, apparently. So, no, I don't think Tyrion.
Let's eliminate Tyrion.
No, Tyrion.
Who else? I feel like there was someone else I was thinking.
Okay, look. Again, also,
Mel.
Not a big fan. Okay, right, true. Mel's a good one.
Mel, for sure.
Not a big fan of this next pick. But sorry, you may have to go get a picture. Do we consider Euron?
No.
No?
He hasn't done anything yet.
He literally killed the king of the Iron Islands.
He killed it, but that hasn't improved his position yet.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, look, I don't like him, so I'm not going to be like, yo, we got to have him.
No, I understand, but I also don't like him, but also legitimately I don't think he needs any props.
All right, then let's, I think this is our list. I think this is our working list.
He looks so cute. He's so
Scott.
sleepy.
Shut up.
Ghost is my guy. No, I did have one more legitimate one. Well, kind of. To either Tormund or Ed for like retaking Castle Black.
Ed's a candidate.
Ed has never been on the list, so I would have to find a picture of him.
Is Ed ever going to be on the list again?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and find a picture of Ed.
All right.
While you're doing that, I will remind all of you listeners and watchers out there that you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at We Don't Want a Pod. And you can join the Discord where we just hang out and talk about Game of Thrones and Harry Potter and One Piece and a bunch of other dumb random shit that we are into. So come be a part of the Wannabes community. That would be great. We'd love you guys and appreciate you for that. Well, that was quick. You got to crop that.
I will. Have faith in me, my dude.
No faith for you, bud.
Fuck off.
No faith. I'm more of a Davos in this exchange here. Fuck the gods. Fuck faith. Fuck
I'm not a devout man, obviously.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a devout man. I love how you prepared a picture of Cracklin' Oatbrand, but not a picture of Dolores Ed, my guy.
Oh, you got me there. That's because that was a much better joke than just Dolores Ed. I will never miss the chance for a dumb
How has
joke.
Ed never been on the list before?
Nah, listen, that's a travesty.
That is.
I kind of feel like we need to correct it. And honestly, I feel like
he
came through big time.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree.
Mel and Davos and Jon do not get their moments if not for Ed.
I agree. I agree with you.
Were you done, by the way, with your whole thing?
Yeah, I was agreeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm done.
As funny as the Cracklin' Oatbrand joke thing is, I don't think he makes the list.
Sure.
I also am not sure either of our King's Landing people. Cersei, okay, I'm more sold on.
Let's go. Who's next? Who's our contender for second?
For me, it's Davos.
I agree with that. And I kind of, again, hopefully you are on the same page with me, but I kind of think that Ramsay needs to be three.
As much as I don't like it, I think you're probably right.
Okay, so we're discussing 4 and 5.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Davos, where the fuck are you? There you are.
He's right there, Scott. He's right on the screen.
Yeah, shut up. Davos goes to. His speech was unbe-fucking-believable. And let's see, where are you, Mop Man? Ugh, I don't like it, but he did become Warden of the North. So that leaves us Ed, Cersei, Mel, and Jaime. I don't think we're forgetting anyone else.
I think that Mel just resurrected a person from the dead.
I would feel bad about leaving Mel off this list. I think it's Mel and Ed.
Cool. We just agreed. Done. It's over.
Is it go Mel
It's
4 Ed
Mel
5? All right.
No. Reverse it. It's Ed and Mel.
That's what I was kind of thinking more, so I'm glad you said that. I think Cersei has a real argument, but I just don't think it's quite there yet. She will surely have her time if I can find her to remove her. Cersei, there you are. Okay, hey, we did it. We're gonna cut. We gotta get under 2 hours. John 1, Davos 2, Mopman 3, and 4, and Melisandre at 5. What a hell of a list. Who'll be thrown in? Zach, what do you rate this episode?
I rate this episode a 7.5.
I rate it a solid 7.5. I didn't really think about it, but your rating sounds good. So
solid 7.5 sounds a little familiar.
Oh, not to me, you don't. Zach, take us the fuck out of here.
Guys, we appreciate you so much for watching and listening. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. That means
Didn't you already do
hit
this?
The like button. No, I did not do this. Hit the like button. Go and tap that thing. What is it? The thing that all the fucking cringe ass people say? Smash the like button.
Yeah. Smash
do that.
The subscribe.
It does help actually. So truly, do us the favor and do that thing. And you guys already know where to find us. I already told you guys this. We appreciate you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good fucking week, I guess. Bye. Got my spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers! Woo-woo.